Palestine. What do we?
Uh-oh. I think we got in while you were just saying Palestine, so it sounds like you made a decision.
These are on, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We're live. We're live.
Live in Astoria.
Yeah.
The best fucking neighborhood in all of New York City.
You think so?
So I used to live here, and I moved to Brooklyn because my cousin has an apartment down there.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody does their fantasy of if they run into some cash, I'll get a brownstone in Midtown. I'm getting a nice ass place with a garage in fucking Astoria.
Wow,
it's the best neighborhood in entire NYC.
Yeah, you talk about it very glowingly, like as if like there's like a single tear rolling down your eye, like you're like Astoria.
You walk down 30th Avenue in the summer, and all the Greeks are out there sipping their frappes.
Yeah.
It's got the best food. Well, I mean, each borough is particular to their food, but I think it's the best neighborhood in the city.
Yeah, Astoria has so much different types of food, and all of it's really good, and all of it's high quality. Like you said, you can get high quality Greek, you can get high quality Mexican, you can get high quality
Italian. They have one of the best Italian sandwich shops in the whole city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's apparently the most ethnically diverse place in the world. You know,
Queens is right, but is Astoria part of that too?
I mean, I would assume it is, only because of my experience living here. That there's neighborhoods that I feel like I'm in that country. You know, in particular, yeah. Like even not neighborhoods, because this is a neighborhood, but like no. It's a what is Astoria? It's not a neighborhood. It's a
enclave.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know if that's the right vocabulary word.
Yeah. I guess it is a town. So it's a town. So within this town, there are some neighborhoods where. There was a huge protest for Israel-Palestine. It
makes sense.
Mostly Palestine.
Yeah.
Right, but it was. I live on where I live. I live where I live, and so I was on Steinway going towards my apartment. And if I had taken a left, just walking to my apartment, I would have been underneath helicopters and stuff. Like it's very Middle Eastern in particular parts of Astoria. And then you go not even a block away, and you're in a totally different. Oh,
you're in Greece.
You're in Greece.
You're in Greece, dude.
And then
it's
you
all
go
frappes.
two blocks the other way, and you're in Poland. It's pretty crazy and there's just really quick lines of delineation where you're in one neighborhood and then you're in a totally different neighborhood.
Well, what I regret is when I was living here, I had two roommates at the time. I didn't have my union job, so I was fucking poor. Yeah. And I used to just walk around to all the cafe and be like, man, if I had some money. And then finally, towards the end of my living here, I got my union job, and I was able to really have fun and then move to Brooklyn. But now it's like if you actually make a decent living in the city, then it's really fun to live in the neighborhood, and that's what I regret, is not being able to go out and really experience the town. Right. They used to have that strip club that was on the end of Steinway that I never went to. Yeah,
right. So you'll have a whole new world in Astoria.
Yeah.
Like 30th Avenue, you walk down. I remember someone was looking for great restaurants in the area, and I said, just go on 30th Avenue and take a walk. Like you'll find something that looks really cool. So yeah, it is cool. So this is sports and stuff, as you've heard some of the stuff, and we'll be getting into it. We'll be getting into stuff. We'll be getting into sports. I'm here with Matthew Snover, one of the coolest guys I know. But this is a show where I talk to a lot of times. I talk to comedians.
I'm definitely not one of the coolest guys you know.
Oh, absolutely you are. But I'm a terrible judge. But you are but you're a very cool guy.
Dude, the Staten Island crew, no joke. Those are some of the funniest, coolest guys I've ever met.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not trying to like climb like a lot of the other Manhattan and Brooklyn comics. They're confident in who they are, and they're just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Comedy Fight Club is tonight, and my general
where?
It's at Lucky Jack's in.
It's gone back to its home.
That's right.
That's when it was the best.
Yeah, it's one of the best, and it's kind of back to it being awesome again because for one thing, it's a small room, so it fills out nicely. It fills out, and it's really a good location. It's in the financial district. Where there's a lot of people.
Oh, I had many a blackout night at Lucky Jack's.
It really it's reinvigorating.
I was there one night when a pipe burst or something flooded the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was Muscle Fest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Before Steve Serafini bought Muscle Fest. So that's why. Then he took over, and it became what it is today.
Oh yeah, it hums now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so that was a Comedy Fight Club. Got bought out by Roastmasters, and it had moved to the stand.
Oh, I know the origin story.
Yeah. So, but then the origin story for why we were doing the Muscle Fest and Project Comedy Mayhem at Lucky Jack's was the idea was, all right, we'll do a weekly show. The difficulty with doing Project Comedy Mayhem, for those who don't know, it's all character battles. So we were trying to book like 5 character battles a week.
And there's only so many characters,
it's only
right?
so many people who can portray rape. You know, like there's only a few.
Well, eventually you get like former President H.G. Harding. It's like we've used up all the popular ones.
Yeah. And it's really all the same people too. It's like Bobby Sheehan's playing every character. It's like
he's playing a bunch of different versions of Eminem.
Yeah. Eminem as President Lincoln. Yeah. So it was difficult, but but Lucky Jack's. But I guess the point being that I just don't have the ability to social climb. It's all just I go places and I'm just like a grumpy Gus, but I try to be funny within it.
Well, I used to have that because when I first started, but remember back in the No Holds Barred days when Buddha was at Climate Lounge, I had very much a outsider in middle school, like, hey guys, what's going on? Can I hang? And now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, look, I got my friends, close buddies, I got the Fifth Borough guys. I don't need to try to ingratiate myself with any other groups of people. Just go there, do your stuff, and then shut up. And if they like it, not. If no, fuck them. Who cares?
Yeah. And I'm the same way. There is there's a level to that makes it less fun, but I'm not trying to have fun. I'm trying to do comedy. I'm trying to make this work. I'm trying to have this actually be a thing.
I mean, you can have both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah. I have fun by myself. Like it's the fun part to me is doing of the comedy. So that's the difference. That's also the difference these days. For me, I really enjoy doing comedy. So that's a nice place to be.
Was it fun when you would have your hangout days outside of Climate and they would throw bottles at you from the upper floors of the window?
Of course, yeah. Snapple bottles. We would get Snapple bottles from. You weren't there, right?
I wasn't there. I just heard about it the next day.
You heard tell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, Matt Hardy, and probably Bo Ballou. It was the 3 of us.
We were hanging outside of the thing, and somebody threw a bottle at Haggerty. He threw a bottle really high. That's my Bo Ballou impression. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the 3 of us, and maybe Rich Happel was even there. But it was.
There's no way Happel doesn't hang, does he?
Back in the day,
he did.
Back in
man,
the
yeah.
Back in the day. He might have been. It might have been someone in the same ilk as a Rich Happel.
It's been too long. I can't get the Happel impression. I used to be able to do it pretty good, but I haven't seen him in a while.
I see the muscle is there.
You
don't need much time to.
And then he said, and then I said.
Yeah. Well, we were calling.
We miss you, Rich. We miss you, man. I want to watch your stuff.
A particular comedian fat and a female comedian fat, and someone probably got mad at us for calling, because first they threw like a bucket of water at us.
Okay.
And then we moved into the middle of the street and kept calling this comedian fat, or I guess I was. It was maybe just me. And then we got a Snapple bottle thrown at us, and man, that got us home.
See, I feel bad, but my neighbor, I live in Flatbush on Brooklyn. One of the parts that's relatively quiet, but there's one of those Wi-Fi towers in front of my apartment.
Yeah.
So, in a moment of weakness and very drunk, I have thrown a glass object at somebody down there. Right. Not directly at him though, just like a couple of feet to the side to be like, hey. It's 3:30 in the morning. Get the fuck out of here. And you know what? They did, but I would never do it again.
Yeah, I give them a lot of credit because they did nail it where it was like 10 feet away,
which
was perfect. Where the glass even hit my shoe.
Because if you hit, you're fucked then. You're screwed. You can't be doing that. Yeah.
No. Yeah. They kind of nailed the trajectory of it where they scared us enough to leave, but also it wasn't.
Nowadays, I do the non-harmful water balloons, half piss, half water. That's what I go with now. So if you're in front of Snover's place down in Rutland Road, you're getting a water balloon full of piss if it's past 1:30 a.m. and you're talking outside my apartment.
Yeah, who's the golfer with the lemonade and iced tea?
Arnold Palmer.
A little Arnold Palmer of water and pee.
Exactly.
For everybody. Yeah.
It's mostly pee, though.
Wow. Arnold Palmer, a golfer, good transition for us to talk about sports. So you're a big Yankees fan.
Huge Yankees fan.
Big Yankees fan. Me too.
New York sports fan because I went through this phase when I was a kid where I was like, oh, I like the Raiders or I like the Seattle Mariners because they have Ken Griffey Jr. And I firmly believe the state that you're from and born and raised, you're stuck with those teams. Yeah. Unless, one exception, grandparents. You got somebody that grows up in Connecticut and like grandfather was a huge Yankees fan. You're like, oh, okay, you can do that. But it kind of bothers me if you see somebody from like Florida and they're like, yeah, I'm a huge Yankees. You're like, why, man? You got teams down there. Right. Granted, I don't think anybody in Florida has heard of the Tampa Bay Rays. I actually do a whole bit about this. It's like they've made the playoffs 5 years in a row, and I think Major League Baseball has to CGI in the audience to make it look like there's people at the stadium.
Yeah.
It's like I'll usually ask an audience, like, have you guys heard of the Tampa Bay Rays? And whoever says yes, I'm like, well, you should tell the people of Tampa because they have no idea they have a baseball team.
Well, in comedy shows, as you know, like for a comedy producer, we'll take pictures really close of a comedian or like angling it where the five audience members are all in the shot where you're taking the picture, which is kind of what the Tampa Bay Rays have to do.
Exactly. Well,
they're like, oh yeah, look, there's fans here. There's fans in this part of the stadium.
Well, I used to produce a show, and a lot of times we would organize just very expensive fashion shoots because there was nobody there. Pictures look great, though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'll just do close-ups, full close-ups. No, even when there are people in the crowd, sometimes I'll do that. And I'll be like, that way no one knows when there's not people. Yeah. I'll just say, no, that one.
To be fair, though, every show you have had me on has had audience, has had a good crowd. It has.
You're lucky. That's why you like me. You know? Whereas there's plenty of comedians who are like, oh, yeah, Pat. But, you know, I run. I'd say my shows are 80% acceptable.
That's a good number.
Yeah,
that's an accurate number.
Like, whoa, dude, that's bad. But like 80% of them are like, that's good enough.
I just got back from Texas with Joe Rosenzweig and Rehad Carroll. Yeah. We had a successful one down there. It was fun. 100 degrees every single day, but it was worth it to get that Texas audience.
Yeah.
Had a show the night of the NBA Finals. It was the night the Mavericks won, though, so the crowd was in great spirits.
That's good.
Great spirits. I got them to chant "Boston sucks" twice throughout the show.
Wow.
That was the highlight. I mean, I had a great set too, but the highlight was getting the crowd to chant that.
Without a doubt.
Which I don't honestly. Right now, our beef is with Baltimore, dude. Boston, we got respect for them.
Yeah. Or such little respect that I'm like, I don't care about you guys. Yeah.
I honestly never had too much beef with Boston. I feel like I get more. I feel like there's more direct animosity with Philadelphia. Yeah. Especially since the Giants and the Eagles are in the same division, then I feel it with Boston, really.
Yeah, I could see that, especially recently, because Philly, for one thing, I meet so many Philadelphians, especially in comedy.
Oh, of course, because it's easy. Easy commute.
It's right there, and people who I just thought, oh yeah, he's like a cool guy, like a friend of mine he's effectively a New Yorker now. And then I realized they're all Philadelphia sports fans. I don't like you guys anymore so much. You know?
Which is funny because the rest of the country just lumps the Northeast together pretty much. Like we're all the same to them. Yeah. They're different degrees of angry white guy.
You're right. Yeah. It's like us with the Midwest. It's fair. It's fair that they think that way. But I do. You know, the Red Sox have caused like really severe hatred from me.
Dude, I think I jinxed the first Yankees Red Sox series because I Instagrammed one of my stories of Alex Verdugo hitting that home run on the top of the monster, and then the Yankees went on to lose the next two games.
Yeah.
I messaged my buddies like, hey, like my Red Sox friends, like I think I jinxed that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and they've done that a few times recently where they'll have a really good, like, nice showing of a win, and then they'll just lose the next 2, or they'll just.
I mean, that's the weird thing about baseball. It's a long fucking season, man. April to baseball is played right up until the first week of November now. That is insane to me.
Yeah.
And so, of course, everything is cyclical. I mean, the Mets were dead in the water a couple weeks ago, and now they're having a June swoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like 7 of the last 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like we had an incredible May. It was awesome, but we're starting to play really good teams, and the pitching is starting to show its weak spots.
Yep. Yeah, the bullpen's bad. Yeah, right. It's a long season, and I was even thinking, like I was thinking earlier, I'm at least happy that they're taking it seriously. They've made a few nice moves. They went out and traded for J.D. Davis. Mm-hmm. They signed Chasen Shreve.
I saw that.
Yankee great, Chasen Shreve. So they're doing things that they're not just saying, well, it's a long season. Our guys will get there. No, they're actually making.
No, they're like, we have a legit run. It's going to be a monumental season, especially too when you got Judge's at 28 home runs. He didn't hit one today?
No, I didn't hit one.
Okay, because so. I'm a Yankees fan because grandparents were Yankees fan. Father's Mets fan. So I follow them too. And I think last year the Mets, their management, they went through a fire sale way too early in the season. It was like August. They got rid of Scherzer. They got rid of Verlander. Mm-hmm. And it was like, guys, what are you doing? And I think it pissed a lot of the fans off. So I always like it when management shows initiative and we're going to make a run.
Yeah.
That is why everyone hated him. It's why I really miss the old Steinbrenner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of billionaires, the baseball team is secondary. They love their yachts. They love their caviar. Steinbrenner put his money into the fucking team. He's like, I want rings, and I don't care what it costs.
Yeah. And even when it didn't lead to rings, it led to enjoyment and fun.
Yeah.
It led to we have Jason Giambi now. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Have you watched the NBC documentary yet about the 1990 Yankees?
I watched part of it.
Oh, it's great, man. It's such a fun documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool lead up to the dynasty years of it being such a mess. Because the 80s, they were actually pretty good. They just never made the playoffs.
Yeah, well, the Mets dominated New York baseball for the entire decade of the 80s.
Yeah, then by 90, the Yankees finally actually collapsed. Mm-hmm. That was an actual, they're bad now. They were good in the 80s, they just kept coming in second place, and there was no wild card.
The phrase, sometimes the barn is so full of rats, you got to burn down the barn and build it back up, as opposed to killing the rats. That's kind of what they did.
Yeah. Yep. And here we are with this mix of players. But yeah, I the way I keep thinking of it is, if Judge and Soto stay healthy, we have a chance.
Yes. Dude, how nervous were you when he got hit in the wrist the other night?
I was really nervous.
This year, the Baltimore rivalry is thick, man. They definitely beaned Gunnar Henson on purpose.
Oh, that was on purpose.
That was totally... He took it like a champ, too. See, that's the thing. A lot of... When people really shit... I have such respect for other teams.
Yeah.
He took it in the arm. He's like... Nah, and then he took his base, man. Guy's a Marine, man.
You're already a great sports talk radio host because you called him Gunnar Henson, and his name's Gunnar Henderson.
It's Henderson? Oh, okay. Well,
that's perfect.
I've had 3 tequilas and 1 beer. I was at New York Comedy Club earlier, not to brag.
But that's that's like classic sports talk radio. It's like, what's this guy, Gunnar Henson? Yeah. You know what? I don't like the guy.
Yeah.
He's not the kind of ball player I like. I'm sure the Orioles fans like him. Yeah, but speaking of Orioles, I have an Orioles T-shirt because it's a Mike Messina T-shirt from the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
I went to the Mariano Rivera induction, and Messina was also being inducted that year. And so I got a Mike Messina Orioles shirt thinking, this is cool. Yeah. This is a cool shirt. And then now, during a season, especially when the Orioles are good, which this year and last year they were good, I can't wear it for an entire year.
The question is this year, can they stay good into the playoffs, or do they collapse
and get
like
swept?
They did? And that's another reason why baseball is such a crazy sport in terms of how cyclical it is. You get these teams that do awesome, and then they get into the first round of the playoffs and they drop 3 in a row. You got to be good when the time is right.
Well, and the way I think about it is, if a team loses 3 in a row, which the Orioles just did, during the regular season, no big deal.
No big,
it's like, oh yeah, it happens. That's a long season. It happens, and then it happens at the wrong time, and you're done, and it's done.
That's why my father has a theory. He does it in football and baseball, where these teams that get in first place and they get the bye. He thinks sometimes that's really bad for a team because you get the wild card teams that get on a roll and the momentum just keeps sticking, whereas the other ones are just kind of sitting. They get soft, they get cocky, and then it comes game time and they come out cold. And then they just collapse. The
only benefit is that you can't lose that series.
Yeah.
Otherwise, whoever wins the wild card series has the advantage. But the team that gets the bye has a big advantage over the team that just got knocked out.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage that you have is that you can't be knocked out. But otherwise, the advantage goes to whoever you're playing has the advantage. Yeah, like it fucks up their rotation, but only by a little bit. They have they'll have their 3 starter go in game 1, and then their 1 starter pitches in game 2. If anything, the team again, that's even a disadvantage to the team that has their number 1 starter going game 1 because it's like you better fucking win. You better if you have your 1 going against their 3, you better fucking win that game. So there's like more pressure on the other team.
Yeah,
there's more pressure, and not even it's not just like fake pressure because like pressure doesn't like really mean anything in sports other than. It actually you're being put at a disadvantage the next day. No matter what, you have a disadvantage, and you better win this game.
Speaking of which, did they say what's going on with Stanton yet?
He said that he'll probably be out for a month. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, he played 3 months of the season. He's due for being out for another month.
Another month, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Jesus.
If it really is just a month, I'll count it as all right. That's Stanton. That's what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like hey, look, if he's gonna take a month off, I guess let it be July. They got the All-Star break,
right?
So you do that, and then you come back in August, and you better be fucking hitting home runs.
Yeah, as long as he hits home runs. The one thing is whenever he in years past. I think 2022 is an example where he had an IL stint. He was hurt for a little bit, and he made the All-Star team. He was the All-Star MVP that year, and then he comes back from injury and he's shitty.
Yeah.
So he's not really healthy. He's just healthy enough to be his huge self. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Again, Judge and Soto are the main. They can carry the team if need be. Volpe is awesome too. Verdugo's
great. Dude, the other the Cabreras too, man.
Yeah.
Like they're really good. We got to see if we can get I don't know how long Rizzo's out.
He's out till August.
And then he's out. Fuck, damn it, Rizzo. And then LeMahieu. We'll see if he can pick it up.
I don't think he will. I think he might be done.
Either that or he gets hot in July.
Yeah. He did that last year, so I guess it's I could see it happening. They got J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis, his numbers with the A's, he was just with the A's, were not great. Honestly, they're better than any of our other infielders, though, other than Volpe. They're better than DJ. They're better than even Glaber, who hasn't been terrible. And they're better than, Ben Rice has actually not been bad.
Yeah.
He's been pretty good. But so J.D. Davis is going to come in and right away be an improvement. And also, I think that there's an argument to be made that he's with the fucking Oakland A's, who are a AAA franchise. And when you're with a team that's that bad, you can't. How do you bring yourself up to playing hard? When you're there.
I don't.
So I think he might get an uptick. I think he might be really good with the Yankees. So that's the hope. And then the question is, do you think one of DJ, Rizzo when he comes back, or Glaber can be good? Do we think that one of them can be good?
I think so. What could be fascinating is that we get everybody back in August, and that's the month when you really want to turn it on.
Yeah.
Having a hot August is the best.
Right.
So we got to bye tomorrow, and then we go to play the Mets.
That's right.
And normally, given how I have a soft spot for the Mets, I'd be like, it'd be cool if they get one. But now I'm like, no, we got to get both of those fucking games.
Gotta win. Yeah.
We got to get. I'm sorry, my dad and Mets. Though we got to club these guys.
Got to take it to them, especially.
Are they doing both at Citi Field or?
Yeah.
Okay, because usually sometimes they do one at Yankee Stadium, one at Citi Field, but we're both at Citi Field.
These are both at Citi, and then the Yankee Stadium games are later in the year.
Okay, yeah.
So these ones are at Citi. And so the Mets are throwing 2 lefties, and the Yankees have been terrible against lefties this year. But J.D. Davis is really good against lefties. So the hope is that, yeah. So but they're doing things that I like, even though they've been losing. That happens. It happens when you lose.
I had a feeling today because I'm always nervous when Nasty Nestor goes up. Because it's like he's going to be so, but I mean, apparently only allowing 3 runs is not his fault.
Over 7 innings.
Dude, that's not his fault. The bats just got quiet.
Yeah. And it was, which 7 innings, 3 runs is like that beautiful, it's good, but not amazing. It's not amazing, but it's good. That's a good start. And then the bats just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Yeah.
I'm sure the Mets, too, really wanted us to beat up on Atlanta a little bit more.
Yeah, because they just hate them. But I guess, is Atlanta in the wild card? I guess they are.
Well, so Philly dominates that division.
Right.
It's Philly's and Atlanta's right behind him, and then Washington and the Mets have been bouncing back and forth between 3rd place.
Yeah, and they're like right around the wild card. And I think the last time I checked, the Mets were only a game back of the wild card.
Yeah, they're still in it, man.
There's gonna be some juice to Yankees Mets. There's gonna be some juice to the Subway Series.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's exciting. Either way. This year, a lot of years like baseball, it's not America's pastime anymore. It goes through, but this year is an exciting year for baseball as a whole.
Yeah,
and it's all Major League Baseball. Always benefits when the Yankees are doing good because every great sitcom needs its villain, or every great drama needs its villain. So it elevates the rest of the league.
Right.
So I think it's just going to be a monumental year. I mean, the stuff with Ohtani. I mean, the home run chase is getting interesting. It's just you got Philly and Harper doing great stuff. It's going to be a fun year.
Yeah. You kind of have the appropriate, well, the way you put it, we were talking about football a while back as the playoffs were about to start, because it was New Year's Eve when we talked sports last, at least. And you were saying that all the characters were in play because you had like the Bills and the Dolphins were a new character, but they were in there. You have the Chiefs and you have the Ravens, so all the teams that you think about that you're like, oh yeah, and the Niners, and the Eagles, right? So you have these teams that you think about, and also some new teams, which it seems like that baseball's kind of in that way also, because you have the Yankees, but then you have the Orioles, who are this upstart great team, which is a nice little story. And then you have the Phillies, who have great players who are that's a cool one because the Phillies have been there for a few years. Yeah, but this year they're going to win the division. Yeah. Like the past few years,
they almost made to the World Series last year.
But as a wild card, they make it to the World.
The Red Sox are good. I mean, I can't. Don't you miss a Yankees Red Sox playoff? Yeah. There's nothing like it.
I miss it, but I'm. That can be next year. I want the Yankees to get like a nice smooth World Series. It's a nice smooth World Series
path.
championship. Then next year, beat the Red Sox in the ALDS, Astros in the ALCS, and then the Dodgers in the World Series. This year, I want it to be like Mariners and the Twins, and then the like Diamondbacks. Again.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have to go through Boston or Baltimore.
Oh,
or
it's
both
gonna be
of
a gauntlet.
them.
It's going to be a gauntlet. It's going to be the fucking crazy thing about the AL East right now is that whoever wins the division, the second place team is going to get a wild card. There's going to be like a 103 win wild card team.
Yeah,
because the Yankees and Orioles are going to be fighting for it all year. There's going to be a 103 win wild card team, which means that there's a good chance that they're going to face each other in the ALDS. They're not even going to face each other in the semifinals. So it's going to be pretty nutty.
I joke. So last year the World Series was the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah. So I joked. I went. The real loser this year is Major League Baseball's ratings.
Yeah.
Dude, if it's like Yankees Dodgers World Series, Major League Baseball is going to cream their pants because that's going to get the fucking audience, or Yankees Phillies, or because that's the major market teams. You want them in the final game, so that you get the eyes on because again, it's not America's, but football is America's number one thing that gets all the ratings. That gets that until eventually. like soccer replaces everything. But for now, it's like you want the big market teams playing in the World Series.
Yeah, football ultimately doesn't really matter who's playing in it. It'll
people are going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, baseball, it definitely matters. And you can even, I think baseball, you could get away with like one big market and then one up and coming team.
Yes,
then they'll be like, oh, perfect.
Because everyone roots for the up and coming market, and then aside from the fans of the big market team.
Right. Like if it's Brewers Yankees, then they'll be like, cool. Like,
everyone's rooting for the Brewers except Yankees fans.
Right. And then the other way around, probably Dodgers Orioles would be a sick.
Oh, I'd root for the Orioles 100%.
I couldn't, but I understand.
I would. I would totally root for Baltimore.
I'd be like, fucking Orioles. Yeah. No, but Dodgers Orioles would be, as baseball goes, that'd be a sick World Series.
Yeah.
That would definitely be pretty awesome. But Dodgers Yankees works. But because Dodgers Yankees, it would be insane, huge markets, but also there would be a huge amount of baseball fans who'd be like, fuck this shit. Like they would be like, of course it's Dodgers.
That is true. Yeah. Those two juggernauts. Yep.
Right. The two biggest payrolls.
Other
than the Mets.
I think the World Series is going to come down to it'll either be Yankees Phillies, Baltimore Phillies, or Yankees Dodgers, or Baltimore Dodgers, and then my wild card is the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox could end up getting on a really good streak, and I think they could end up going.
They have a little bit of that.
They got and they always do when they're the underdog. But they have. They got the juice.
They have good. They have good players. The Braves also, because even
the Braves are good, but the Braves also have a history of getting knocked out, doing awesome during the regular season, getting knocked out in the first or second round.
Yes. Yeah. But the time they won the World Series, they were not one of the better teams.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So this is kind of fits in with the past few years. But you're right. When they've been great, they've really shat the bed in the playoffs. Yeah. But then that one year that they faltered and then they had to make a million trades at the deadline and they ended up getting in as a wild card, they actually won.
I have a big antipathy towards the Braves because I had a girlfriend I dated for high school was a big Braves fan. So you always root against your ex's team.
Oh yeah. I have and then even as a growing up as a 90s Yankee fan, you just always going against the Braves.
Yeah.
My brothers hate the Braves. But I always think, but we beat them. Beat in 96 and 99, we beat them in the World Series. If anything, they led to some of the best moments in Yankee history.
And Brock Savage is from Atlanta, and his family's a Braves fan. So you heard that, Brock Savage. Fuck you and the Braves.
Brock Savage is the man.
Great comic, dude. Fucking hilarious.
Oh, my goodness. He's hilarious.
And every time you say his name, it's like, is that a wrestler in the WWE? And you're like, no, he's just a wrestler in the comedic arena.
Right. And when you did say Brock Savage, I did initially think of Johnny Rocker. Because it's very similar names. Brock Savage and Johnny Rocker. They have a lot in common. No, they don't.
Did you watch any of the Knicks run in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, a lot of it.
That was fun, man. And towards the end, though, I mean, the final game, I mean, Knicks were playing with their bench.
Yeah. They just got too many injuries.
Yeah, it's
their whole season was predicated on playing really hard. All year. And hey, it got them pretty far.
Dude, if everybody stays healthy next year, that could be a fun year.
For sure.
That really could be. But
and there's I think about them in terms of people are arguing whether they should, what's the term, roll it back, right? Rolling it back, like just roll back with the same players. Basically just have the whole same team and just say, let's see what we can do this year. We didn't do it. And, little tweaks with the roster and all that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think, no, we got to get that big guy. For one thing, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but even more so, it's like, but that could really fuck you.
It can. We've tried that before. Remember with Carmelo, which I think Melo's an underrated Knick because he was the one. He took them to the playoffs when they hadn't been for a long time.
I love those.
And I'm a huge being from upstate New York. Syracuse is my college basketball because I went to Marymount Manhattan,
right,
which is I tell people if NYU is Pepsi, Juilliard's Coca-Cola, Marymount was the RC Cola Performing Arts Schools. Yeah. So my dad went to Syracuse. So that's my college basketball team I root for.
Yeah.
And Mello gave him the championship. So I have a huge spot for Mello.
That and the gold medal, right? Those are his two actual. Like he's a winner just because of that. But and mostly because of the NCAA. So my Knicks, my experience with the Knicks has been. I'm just a big New York sports fan.
Okay.
So when the Knicks are good, and really just when the Knicks are like even approaching being good, I'm like, come on, be good, be good. Which is kind of what you're always thinking, no matter who your team is. Like you want them to be good, obviously, right? So I'm not an enormous basketball fan, but I am a huge New York sports fan, and I will say, first game of the playoffs, I was locked in, and I was following the standings all year with the Knicks, even during the regular season, being like, "Oh shit, they might do. They're gonna get the whatever seed. They eventually got the 2, and so that was pretty sick. And then I was pretty locked in. I would listen to them on the radio. That's how you know you're locked into a sporting event.
Well, basketball is another season too that starts in fucking October and it ends in June.
Crazy.
So I don't really get into basketball until after New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, all systems go. Basketball is but growing up, like I hit my growth spurt young, so I played basketball, but I really should have been playing hockey. I was from upstate New York.
You look like a hockey
I'm
player.
built more like a hockey player.
You have the hairstyle of a hockey player.
And it's why like when the Rangers, just got knocked out of the play, it's why I really get bummed when people are like, "Oh, you found it," and I'm like, "Man, I just never got into it." And I really wish I had, because there was no future in basketball for me. Right. Aside from like going to Syracuse basketball camp and learning all the cool slang from the black kids, like that's why it was fun for me. But other than that, like I should have been playing hockey.
Yeah, you look like a defenseman.
And I can't follow it. For me, it's the big 3: football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with hockey. And so actually, my lovely fiance, who she got me really into hockey.
Yeah,
I was already pretty solid with it. The 2010 Olympics.
Oh, okay.
America lost in the gold medal round.
Oh, yeah.
I got really into hockey that year. I was like, fuck yeah, hockey. Yeah.
The Rangers have a farm team up in Binghamton. It used to be called the Binghamton Whalers. Then it's the Binghamton Senators. And I went to a game as a kid, and I got hit right here with a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Well, it grazed it. It didn't really do too much, but it like hit it. Blood started coming down, and the poor mother who took us all to the game just started panicking. But I was fine. Right. But I wish
pucks are hard.
I'm a great ice skater, dude. I can ice skate like Brian Boitano.
Wow.
So I should have really been into hockey, man. Hey, you know what? If I have a youngster one day, he's going hockey.
Push him into hockey.
He's going hockey.
Hockey it's a beautiful sport.
It is, man. They let him fight.
Yeah. It's also a beautiful league because it's so different. I do also love the way that they make all the leagues a little bit different in their functionality. Yeah. But actually, NHL is the most different because it's 3 periods instead of 4 quarters, which is already like, this is like you don't. As you're watching, like this is the mechanism of the sport is so different, and just because of that, also the point system as opposed to wins and losses, is very different. So there's kind of a beauty to how different it is, and how you have to kind of think about it differently than you would any other sport. For those reasons, which is part of why I love baseball, because baseball, every other sport most of the other team sports you can think of are goal oriented. This side is our goal and this side is your goal. Baseball is not that way. It's bases.
Well, baseball is interactive chess.
Yeah.
Because you got these infield fly rules, and you got to think on your feet. That's why. So I was a huge. I played Little League and stuff, but I sucked. But I was a big wanting to be an actor. I loved baseball movies.
Yeah.
So I would dress the part. In fact, when I was catching in Little League, I got warned by the umpire for taunting the batter. pulling like a Sandlot or like a Major League and being like, "Hey, you gonna hit this?" And they'd be like, "He's talking," and they'd be like, "You can't do that."
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, that's part of the game, a little chatter.
These fucking 8-year-old. Come on, man. You should have. I was preparing you for the big leagues.
No batter. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you do. I do love baseball movies. What's your favorite sports movie? Do you have it offhand?
Any Given Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Oliver Stone's. Oh no, it wasn't his last good movie, but it's incredible, and it was way ahead of the game in terms of PTSD, in terms of brain injury, in terms of how capitalistic the sport got. Al Pacino gives the greatest halftime speech in the history of cinema.
Was that also
in that?
Did they have the Gladiator?
It did. Oliver Stone cut that in halfway. It's an incredible movie, and the NFL wanted nothing to do with it, which is why the teams are like the Sharks and the Saints.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I grab another beer?
Oh, go ahead.
I can take the mic to the fridge.
Please
right?
Do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go. Yeah. You got the long. I gave you the long cord. It's in the freezer.
I mean, the best conversation.
I put them in the freezer.
Oh, okay. The best conversation always happens after the fourth drink.
Definitely, and transport all of them so they don't freeze.
You're
it's
right.
time to transport them. Yeah.
Well, but that's great. So, what is your favorite sports movie?
We're talking about baseball. I would say so. I'll go sport by sport.
Yeah, we'll do sport by sport.
Let's do sport by sport.
So I did football. So you already.
So I'll do football.
Okay.
Just for that purpose. You got Remember the Titans is probably it's the first to come to mind. That movie rules.
Yes.
It's also really good. It's also really good. The football in it. I gauge it by the mechanism of the play of the sport. A lot of times,
how good it looks like the athletes actually have something.
Does that actually look like the sport they're playing? And that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. They have I have this guy.
Yeah.
This should have something there. But yeah, go on, talk.
Remember the Titans was really good. So my favorite football is Any Given Sunday. Baseball, I mean, having to choose between Major League and The Sandlot is because The Sandlot is more of a kids type movie, whereas Major League is the best like legitimate adult sports movie.
Yeah. Well,
and the first one is rated hard R. So when I was a kid, Major League 2 had come out and it was PG, right? So I'm at Walmart with the folks one day. And it was like I'd done really good that semester, so they let me pick a VHS movie. And I go and I sneak Major League 1 by them. And they had never seen it. They'd just seen Major League 2, which, like, to go from R to PG is insane.
PG.
Rating-wise. Yeah. So, like, one day they throw it on and they're sitting there and they're like, this freaking got an R movie pass because the language is hilarious, dude.
Nudity.
It's all like it's all, but it is you go back and watch it. It's a classic.
Oh, that movie
introduced Wesley Snipes to American audiences.
Yeah.
Incredible movie,
lesser
man.
known brother Willie Snipes.
Yeah, lesser known brother.
Yeah,
he's the one who didn't get arrested for tax evasion.
Exactly right. Yeah. Oh, that movie rocked. That movie's really good. And again, like a big, if we were to like put like how I quantify what the best ones are, again, the gameplay in Major League is like right on. They have, and really it's, you watch certain movies and I'd have to go back to remember them, it's just like, oh yeah, he hit a home run. It's like, they don't always hit home runs. Sometimes they hit infield singles.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a hit up the middle that goes through. Another good football movie for that is surprisingly so, The Longest Yard with
Burt Reynolds, the original, or Sandler?
The Sandler.
Oh, okay.
They have like 3-yard outs and stuff.
Okay,
like they have like, oh yeah, cool. Like it's little dinky plays that how you win football games.
Football. There's a great college football movie called The Program. Okay, and so when The Program was initially released, there was a scene in the movie where the players try to gain courage and strength by laying down on the yellow line in the middle of the highway. And then a couple of people did that. And so 2 weeks into the movie airing, the scene was cut.
Oh.
So a lot of people, they probably released a director's cut on DVD you can see now, but it was cut so you couldn't see it for a while, but it dealt with steroids, James Caan as a coach. Great college football movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Program. Check it out.
Program. Okay, okay. Yeah, and then high school football movie, you got
Varsity Blues. Great, underrated movie, man.
Yeah,
really underrated movie.
And for me, it would be what's it called with Billy Bob Thornton.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Great movie. Great football movie. And then like the mechanics of the football. And then so you said baseball. So which one's your favorite? You said Major League?
Major League is my favorite baseball movie.
It's my favorite also.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Yeah. Major League.
Major League 1.
It's funny. It's it's again, like you said, the introduction to a lot of actors who you're like, oh, cool. I know Charlie Sheen was already fairly famous.
Oh, dude, when they play Wild Thing, when he comes out.
It's great.
2 is probably second because they add Randy Quaid, and he just adds such a great dynamic to the movie. The bad seed is back. Yeah. It's Wild Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best one. And then you have Rookie of the Year, which is kind of just that might be the funniest one. But but Major League is also really fun.
I mean, The Sandlot is just Sandlot is Sandlot and Field of Dreams are the nostalgic, make you want to cry with your dad when you watch it.
Exactly right. So Field of Dreams is exactly what I was going to bring up. Field of Dreams is less a baseball movie and a love of and more of a love of baseball movie. It's a baseball fan movie. It's like, oh, this is a good movie.
To the point when it was America's pastime.
Yeah. It's like, oh, like baseball nostalgia, like you said.
There's a lot of underrated ones. There's a one called Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck where he goes to Japan. That's really good for international relations. Which is very good.
Speaking of Field of Dreams, which is your favorite Kevin Costner baseball movie?
Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams over Bull Durham any day.
But is it over what's the other one where he is a tiger? Because he's in another baseball movie.
He is. What is that one?
Yeah. What is that?
I'm thinking of
For the Love of the Game.
For the Love of the Game. Okay. Because for a second I was going to the Dennis Quaid one, which is based on a true story called The Rookie. Where he's like a 45-year-old pitcher. So
I might have to change my answer.
Those are always great when you get the movie of like he's 46 and he's gonna go try to play and he does it and you're like, yeah.
I watched The Rookie not long ago and actually. So I have certain movies that I wait to watch again because I want them to hit me again.
Yeah.
I want them to fucking hit me. And that's one, The Rookie. And I might be ready for another watch because that movie fucking rules. That movie's really cool. It's right on the money in terms of like making you feel like, yeah, this would be how a guy like this would make it to the majors.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he just all of a sudden can throw harder. And just think like. Yeah, when you're 19, you have a certain level of strength. He's probably throwing like 91.
Yeah.
And then when you're a grown man, you're just stronger. No matter who you are. You're not as like athletic, but when you turn 30 something, you just become like physically strong.
Because the body and the brain don't stop developing physically and stuff fully until after you hit 25.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why it's a lot of athletes. It's like the peak thing is between like 25 and like 32.
Yeah.
Where it's like Judge is what, 30 now or 31?
I think he's 31. Yeah.
31. Yeah, so he's got a couple another really good years.
So he's in his prime.
Yeah, he is.
To your point, so your physical prime is somewhere between 25 and 30, around there. And also, it could be longer if you're like a pro athlete.
Well, nowadays too, with diet and stuff. Yeah.
So it could be longer if you're a pro athlete because you're just like a superhuman.
Yeah.
But then your mental prime. So it's the prime of an athlete is when that physical prime and the mental prime like meet,
reach the same thing.
And it's like boom.
That happens in your 30s.
Yeah, that happens it happens in your early 30s. Yeah. So so that's where he is. So so that's the Dennis Quaid movie. That movie fucking
really good. Second favorite football movie, I got to go Rudy.
Rudy, yeah.
Dude, it's still, bro, it'll make me choke up every time.
Yeah.
Dude, he's got a great young Vince Vaughn. Come on, guys. As long as we're on the field, Rudy can't play. And he scores. He's like, that was free. Dude, it's great, man.
Yeah,
it's every year, man. God.
And that's a good, we should almost make a delineation of types of each of these sport movies.
Yeah.
Where there's like,
comedy and then wholesome, heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching, yeah.
Because for baseball, Major League is like cool, fun movie.
Yeah.
And then the rookie is like, yeah, man, I love my dad. You know, it's like, yeah, me and my dad.
Well, football again. You got your heartwarming Rudy, and then you got your really funny. They made a movie called Necessary Roughness.
Oh yeah.
With Scott Bakula, which is really underappreciated football movie. I got to rewatch that, but that's a really good one. I haven't seen that in a while. Kathy Ireland, in the height of her 90s Sports Illustrated swimsuit, it becomes the kicker for the team. It's a really great movie.
Yeah, and that's I'm glad that we actually created this these categories within each movie, because then you go to hockey and comedy-ish movie, it would be Mighty Ducks.
It's Slapshot.
Slapshot.
That's the king of comedy.
Do you know
hockey
Goon?
movies.
Have you seen Goon?
Of course, dude. Goon is incredible.
Oh, lovely. It's beautiful. Yeah, there's some good hockey movies. And then the other one, probably like heartfelt one, would be Miracle.
Miracle, yeah. Kurt Russell one, really good.
I still watch like Disney Plus. I have, and I'm like, boom, Miracle.
It's on D Plus.
Hell yeah,
nice, man.
It's a Disney movie. Disney's Miracle. It's beautiful. And really, you see a movie called Disney's Miracle, and you assume it's about like some kid who finds a star and like he raises it as a child. But no, it's about hockey. It's about hockey, and it's really great because I watched that, and I used to get the same emotion. So in 2001, they came out with this like really cool documentary about the 1980 Olympic hockey team.
Yeah.
And I probably watched it like 12 times when I was 10 years old, and I was like, yeah, like I was just like, yeah, fuck you, dude. It's an HBO documentary, so they curse and stuff. So.
Oh, sports documentaries are the great.
Amazing.
I did last year. There's an HBO one called Last Chance U about a guy who created a fake college football team.
Yeah,
it's quite it kind of got swept under the radar,
right.
But you should check it out. It's really good.
Because I saw it as a
it's BS High. He created a fake high school team.
But is it called Last Chance U?
No, Last Chance U was a documentary series on Netflix. BS High. No.
About something else.
It's about something else.
Gotcha.
BS High is literally those were the initials of the fake college he created. It was like something state, and it's about this guy who created this fake college and duped a lot of these young kids into thinking that they were going to get a legit shot at the NFL. It's quite tragic, but it's very interesting. So sports documentaries are always fascinating.
It was a true story of Accepted with what's his face.
That's Accepted. Yeah, the movie with Louis Black and Justin Long.
That's who I was looking for. Yeah. Wow, that movie is good for nostalgia also, because it's actors. You're like, oh right, fucking Louis Black was huge for a while. Yeah. Then he backed into the shadows a little bit. Basketball. What's your favorite basketball movie?
Ooh, Spike Lee's He Got Game. But that's cheating a little bit, because I tell people all the time, I have this go-to quote. I have many favorite actors. I have one favorite movie star, and that's Denzel Washington. I'll watch him read the fucking phone book. And that is my favorite. So I have my favorite Denzel movie, and I have my favorite Denzel performance. Favorite Denzel movie is a movie called Crimson Tide with him and Gene Hackman. Incredible. Tony Scott. Tarantino ghost wrote a part of the movie. But my favorite Denzel performance is He Got Game. It's incredible. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's a father who he teaches. His young son is played by Ray Allen, who does a great job of being an actor. Wow. And he's a great high school basketball star. He's looking to get recruited by a college.
Is he already Ray Allen at this point?
Well, he's his character's name is Jesus Shuttlesworth, but he was Ray Allen.
He was Ray Allen. They act like
it was in the like mid to late 90s.
Okay.
So Denzel is his father, and he accidentally murders the mother due to like a domestic dispute. It's like, and so he gets sent to prison, and he gets let out by the state because the governor really wants the son to go to the state college, and so the whole movie is Denzel getting a reprieve from prison to try to convince his son to go to the state college. It's a very underrated Spike Lee movie. Denzel is incredible. Go see He Got Game.
He Got Game.
It's one of Spike Lee's best movies too.
Yeah. And when was it? When did that come out? 90s?
We're talking late 90s. Late 90s. Yeah.
Because I love Denzel. And that's two Denzel sports movies that we've already mentioned, because you also have
Remember the Titans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball for me, I'll go serious one, serious-ish. Coach Carter.
Okay, great one.
That's a good one.
Sam Jack. Being Sam Jack.
Solid movie. Like they made a lot of those similar movies to that, where it's just like a coach who comes in, like saves an organization, like saves a school, basically. Because then there was also, what's that one where it's based a while back, and the coach comes in and then he plays all the black players eventually. Do you know the movie I'm talking about?
You're describing multiple sports movies.
Yeah. Well, no, but like it was like historic. Like he.
There's a couple, man. I mean, you're talking basketball, right? Because there's the football one is The Express, which is about Ernie Hudson, who played at Syracuse.
Oh yeah.
That has Dennis Quaid in it too.
Also, Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron Gang. Yeah.
I just thought of another football movie.
But the basketball movie, man, I don't. There's a couple.
Right.
It's definitely not Hoosiers, because that's a movie about the whites.
Yeah.
That's
the one.
That's movie. Gene Hackman being great, and Dennis Hopper got an Academy Award nomination for that.
I gotta give Hoosiers another chance. I think I was a teenager.
That was back when you had celebrating a lot of tall white guys making great bounce passes.
Yeah, because I was getting really into basketball movies probably when I was when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of really good ones that came out. Coach Carter being one of them, and a few others. And then I tried to watch Hoosiers thinking, oh, yeah, these are, like, all awesome. I'm going to watch Hoosiers now. And it's like, when's that movie? Like, the 80s, that movie?
Mid-80s,
it's like it's slow. It's like, all the other movies are like, I'm pregnant. And it's like, yeah, like, this is cool. You know, like high school kids getting their girlfriends pregnant. Like, that's like...
a really good basketball-adjacent movie is Finding Forrester with Sean Connery. Because the young student in the movie is a basketball, that's why he gets to go to the private school.
Right. And then Space Jam.
Oh, of course.
That's and I will. That's why I Coach Carter in the semi-serious one, Space Jam. I fucking love that movie.
Brock Savage has a great joke about Space Jam where he's like, a lot of these method actors get credit, but he's like, Michael Jordan went on to win multiple championships, to play basketball for years just so he could be the lead role in Space. I'm butchering the joke, Brock. I'm sorry, but it's an incredible joke. It's really good. Yeah.
Brock Savage. We're gonna name this episode Brock Savage.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, let's close this out. We had some good times.
Dude, this flew by, man.
It did.
We haven't even talked. We got multiple sports movies in the ether. We haven't even talked about Little Giants.
Yeah. Oh, and Angels in the Outfield.
Oh God, yeah, that's a great one.
There's some great. Oh yeah, like the most absurd sports movies would be another good conversation.
Yeah. Ones that are the Air Buds. We didn't go through any of the Air Buds.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. The mythical sports movies.
There's some old comedian. He's like a road dog. I remember this one of the oldest jokes I heard, where he's like, in the movie Air Bud, he's a golden retriever. Am I the only one that thought it should have been a black lab? I forget who it was. It was some old comedian. He was on like Make Me Laugh, that show on Comedy Central. Right. Always remember that.
Yeah.
So that is not my joke.
A black lab. That's a great joke, though. Mm-hmm. A great joke written by Matthew Snover.
There was the movie where Bow Wow got Michael Jordan's shoes.
Yeah, like Mike, right?
Yeah.
Like Mike?
Yeah. Jason Kidd is in it. I remember. I do a great Jason Kidd impression, too. He does the thing where he's like, you got to go back to that sandbox. You haven't heard Jason Kidd talk in a while, but that's a spot-on Jason Kidd impression.
Was that Jason Kidd?
That was, dude. That was a great impression.
And then, lots of what's one? I would be remiss if I didn't mention High School Musical. There you go. That's a great basketball movie if there ever was one.
Yeah. Yep.
And on that, we'll close it out. Is there anything that you'd like to say? Any controversial comments or
in terms of sports?
In terms of sports, yeah.
Ooh, man, I don't. You know what? I'll give my take on the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. This is my take. People been asking me. My take is that Jack Harlow sucks. In my day, white rappers had to be good. Okay.
Wow.
You had to be good. All right. Fuck Jack Harlow. Why are these two like strong black individuals making good different music fighting when we have Jack Harlow making fucking rap? All right. You heard it here. You heard it from the Snove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That and we'll close on that. Matthew Snover, hilarious. Go follow him on socials. What are your socials if you want to?
Just at Matthew Snover on Instagram.
Yeah.
I am Tom Cruise 45 on AOL Instant Messenger. that was my screen name.
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter just because it would be nice to get employed someday, so I don't want to ruin all my financial prospects with some tweet.
Yeah.
When I'm on Xanax, but and then just it's Matthew Snover on Facebook. So
but go check him out. You're hilarious, man. Thanks for doing it.
Oh, thank you for this has been a great time, man.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Peace out.
All right. Happy Pride Month.
That's right.